It's a tremendous accomplishment. We've used it as we were going into every NCAA tournament game. We just won the best soccer conference in America. And I don't think anyone can argue that fact that it's the best soccer conference in America. And not only to win it, but to do it in the fashion which we did with not losing a game, it's a tremendous accomplishment. We talk about we want to create our own history. You know, each team here should want to create their own history. We talk about a lot of, teams in the past, and I think each and every one of those teams is very special, in their own regard. But this team came into the season wanting to add a trophy, and we were very, very fortunate to do that. And it takes a lot of commitment. It takes some luck. It takes a lot of focus. But like I said earlier, this is a group that believe they can do it. And I don't know if the belief started day one, but with each win, we gained more and more belief, and we played with a tremendous amount of confidence and energy, and that's what you need, to win this conference. I think as we sit back and reflect a lot more on the year, it was a tremendous year, and the program and this team took great steps of getting back where we want to be, and that is in the national championship game. To win the Atlantic Division in the ACC and getting the #1 overall seed in the ACC tournament, to getting the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And we said we earned 5 extra games at home this year by the regular season that we had. It's a tremendous accomplishment to go from being unranked and no one really talking about Wake Forest to getting the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. It's just a credit to these guys, the work they put in since January until a week ago. I think whenever your team is successful, we talk about it, the team is successful, hopefully it's recognized and by the Coaches Association, the ACC coaches, all the coaches in America, as far as hopefully you earn accolades with success. And, we wouldn't have the accolades and the success if the team didn't have the success that we had this year. But it's great to see each and every week now, from probably since the ACC tournament started until today, Wake Forest has been recognized in some different type of accolade. If it's Jack being on the Herman Trophy semifinalist list, to last week him being named first team All-American, to most recently Coach Brenner being named the National Assistant Coach of the Year. These are awards that each and every one of them will say that if it wasn't for the success of the team, we wouldn't have them. But it's great to be noticed and recognized, and I think all the awards are very, very well deserved. There's so many people that go into this, and I think there's a lot of people in this team that go unrecognized. But I think we all live through the awards maybe of others, and I think we all take great pride when we see a member of our family win these awards. But this year collectively has been a total team effort. The adversity we went through with some injuries this year to the next man up we've been talking about all season long is, we didn't really miss a beat. We did go through a little bit of a stretch where maybe we didn't play our greatest soccer, but we were all pulling for each other. We were still on the same page, still believing, and ultimately found ways to get results. But when you talk about, this has been probably the ultimate team performance, in a collective season as I've seen as a head coach. And the one thing that I've learned about this group of young men is I'll never tell them what they can't do. I think there'll be doubters and believers, like with any hype of any type of college athletic program. But I know we'll have, 29 guys in the fall that are going to believe. And then if we can get all those guys on the same page, believing in the same thing and something a little bit bigger than themselves, we'll have another good year. There's the first one that I would have to say is the win against Santa Clara. I think that's a little bit more of a personal moment for me. I told the guys we were here, we didn't win a game in the spring, and to come here and a lot of expectation for myself and the program. To get that win and to start the season 1-0 is a special feeling. I know you just 1-0. But when you're 1-0, it takes a little bit of pressure off you. I think for me, that's a little bit more of a personal, game, to say, okay, now we have to move forward from there. That was a special day for me, and one of the reasons is the crowd was great. You know, we had to play really good soccer to break down a really good Santa Clara team on that day. It took a special goal from Ja'Cory, but for me, from a family perspective, for my family to be there and to see how special Wake Forest was with the community, and that was the first game. We were talking about the guys going along and shaking the fans' hands for being there, and that continued all season long, which I thought ended up being something special from day one until the end of the season. So for me, that was a big one personally. We all talked about the community support and really what happened and why. I think it's important to know why, you know, so we can continue, right, and replicate it again. But each and every one of the guys mentioned how unbelievable it was to play at Spry this year, and to have packed houses before the first, you know, the whistle goes, before the kick is tremendous. And you know, for them to stay until the very final whistle, if we were to win that day, if we lose, to show their appreciation for the hard work that these guys put out on the field. And I probably speak for each and every one of those guys, is there's definitely something driving them, you know, to work harder and compete harder and give it everything they have, you know, when they may be questioning themselves because there's so many people there supporting them. We've seen so many families that have come each and every week. I get emails, sorry we couldn't make it. You know, at the end of the season, letters came in from young kids and just saying, thank you for the year. I mean, I think ultimately, you know, we have to thank them for the year. You know, I don't think we sit here talking about an ACC championship or talking about a deep run in the NCAA tournament if it wasn't for the student body and the soccer community here in Winston-Salem. It was a year I know I'll never forget. And it's also a year I know that each and every one of these guys wants to do everything they can to replicate.